Welcome back, everybody, to the Word Around the Ring podcast. We're excited to bring you today's episode as we head into the Bad Blood weekend. My name is Big Rob, and I'll let my tag partner introduce himself.
You can call me King Jess, and we're the only podcast that would love some shark cage seats for Bad Blood. But before we get our predictions, Rob, let's recap what's been going down in wrestling.
Definitely. And speaking of shark cage, I would love to be locked up in one of those cages with Liv Morgan, if you ask me. But Dominic Mysterio is going to be the lucky one hanging from one of those shark cages this weekend during Liv and Rhea's match. But like you said before we get started on the Bad Blood predictions that you and I both have, let's go over some hot topics that have happened this week in wrestling. Starting with this Monday Night Raw previously. Know that was an interesting show. Very disappointed to find out that one of my favorites, new up and coming wrestlers, Mr. Ilya Dragunov, was announced that he had actually gotten injured, suffered a knee injury during a live event over the last weekend, and he will be out reportedly for about 6 to 9 months. This was a huge blow. I was super sad to hear this. I'm wishing Ilya a speedy recovery. Hopefully, it's on the quicker timeline in regards to his return to the ring. Just because I thought that he was going to be one of those challengers for the Intercontinental Championship, especially with Jey Uso winning the title. But what are your thoughts on Ilya getting hurt, and how are you feeling about it?
Yeah, this definitely sucks. I mean, it's going to take some wind out of his sail. He was definitely on a hot path. A lot of people are getting really hot on him if they weren't before. And these things happen, and this is why we always exercise, be safe in the ring to everyone that we watch. Is please, before anything, just be safe. 6 to 9 months ain't no joke, especially when someone just got called up from the draft. So I hope a speedy recovery for Ilya, but please take all the time you need to get better and come back stronger than ever. And hopefully the crowd will be hot still on you when you return.
Definitely. Bro was in the back looking fly. He had his suit game on point. He was getting ready to feud with the Judgment Day, I thought. I was very disappointed to find out that he got hurt. I think it was a match against Gunther. Man, fuck you, Gunther. I love you, but fuck you. That's fucked up. But no, wishing him a speedy recovery. These things, as you said, happen over the course of just any athletic performances. So wishing him a speedy recovery. Hopefully we can get him back before WrestleMania and have him wrestle at his first Mania, but we will have to wait and see. But moving forward, a few other important things that happened this week on Monday Night Raw. Yeah, would love to get your thoughts on Jey Uso's first promo as the Intercontinental Champion. He opened the show this week to start off Monday Night Raw. I thought it was a lackluster promo on his behalf. I can provide more details, but wanted to hear your thoughts on his promo this week.
Wow, really? You thought it was lackluster? Why did you think it was lackluster? I thought this was a very passionate promo, and I kind of enjoyed it. So I would like to hear why you thought it was a little bit lackluster.
For sure. I just thought the shit was boring. He came out, I feel like he didn't know what the fuck to say at the beginning. He came out very excited. I think he shouted out his mother. Shout out to, Miss Uso over there. I'm sure the family is very excited for Jay, being that this is his first singles championship run that he will be going on here.
Do you think it'll
I was
finally
excited
shut up Rikishi?
hopefully, because we haven't heard shit from him since he's won the championship. So yeah, hopefully this is a good sign that Rikishi will shut up. I'm saying dumb shit about his son and how the WWE doesn't know what they're doing with him, because clearly he just won the Intercontinental Championship. So they have some trust and some story built into Jey Uso. But regarding the promo itself, I just felt like it was flat. There was a point in the promo where it even went dead for like 10 seconds. And Joe Tessitore they had made a slight comment like, oh, Jay must be gathering his thoughts or something along those lines. So whenever that happens, you just know that dead air there wasn't supposed to take place. So I found that interesting. And then Braun Breaker finally showed up and kind of aided Jey Uso's promo, and really just saved his ass for the night, in my opinion. I just thought it was a lackluster promo. He didn't really know what to say, and it's strange to me because whenever he cut these hard promos with his brother back in the day when they were tag teaming, they know how to cut solid promos. So I think he was just maybe a little emotional in regards to the fact that he is the Intercontinental Champion. I just thought it was a whack promo on my behalf. We didn't really get nothing out of it besides a few yeets and him telling us that he's gonna be a defending champion or whatever. But that's how I felt about it.
Okay, well, yeah, like I said, I thought it was a very passionate promo. I feel like the dead silences weren't really. He didn't know what to say. I feel like he was trying to contain himself from being emotional. I feel like there was points in time where he wanted to cry and he just didn't want to let that out for whatever reason. Maybe it was because Braun Breaker was going to come out to confront him. But overall, I enjoyed the promo. I think it was a heartfelt promo for someone that has been working towards getting a title for so long, and finally being given the opportunity was huge for him. Like you said, he thanked his mom and he thanked his son who actually walked him out um, during the
That's
crowd
dope.
entrance, it was sick. You always love to see shit like that. You love to see the wrestlers interact with their families when they come out to see them. So yeah, I love this promo. I loved what happened after, like that. In a sense, Breaker kind of moved himself along, and he kind of showed us that maybe he isn't interested so much in and regaining the IC title, but he wants to go into bigger things, which I'm fine with. As we saw later in the show, he did confront Gunther, and we'll get to that later. But yeah, overall, I feel like this was a great way to. I think this started the show, right? I think this was a great way to start the show.
Yeah. Yeah, it was the start of the show. I found that interesting that Braun actually wasn't immediate immediately asking for his rematch. I found that a little interesting. I thought Jay was just gonna win this shit. Braun was immediately gonna win it back, like at the next pay per view or whatever. But as you mentioned, clearly they have different plans for Braun at this moment in time. Looks like he'll be in the World Heavyweight Championship picture moving forward, which should be interesting. Um, them shaking hands was a little. I don't know. It was a little cringy for me. I get it, like they're paying their respects or whatever. Braun Breaker's heel character, I thought they've done a great job. I would hate to see them like back down from where they were building up Braun, especially after a loss like that on a Monday Night Raw. Like, I want to see his intensity. I want to see him continue to bring that dog out. Uh, but Jay gave him a cool little shout out at the end of their handshake where he said, "Yo, Braun, I think there's some dogs out here," and the crowd started to bark. The Indiana crowd started to bark for Braun Breaker. So I was a little disappointed that Braun isn't immediately, requesting his rematch, and we're not going to get that match soon. I'm sure we'll get it at some point, hopefully, but we will have to see. And then, in regards to the Intercontinental Championship, still, we actually found out later in the night that Jey Uso had granted Kofi Kingston a title shot, but Kofi Kingston actually told Jey Uso that instead of facing Kofi for next week for the WWE Intercontinental Championship belt, he should face his tag partner Xavier Woods. There was a quick backstage segment there where Kofi Kingston had explained that to Xavier Woods. Woods was extremely happy, felt like things were finally turning the tide for the New Day. He thanked Kofi Kingston, and this came after a an interesting win over Rey Mysterio. Xavier Woods and Rey Mysterio actually had a match following Jey Uso's promo, where Xavier actually beat Rey Mysterio because he pulled Rey Mysterio's mask off, causing Rey Mysterio to focus on covering his face, rolling him up for the pin and winning the match. What were your thoughts on Xavier Woods winning the match due to taking off Rey Mysterio's mask? And your thoughts on Xavier Woods versus Jey Uso next week for the Intercontinental Championship?
The ending to the match was wild. I did not expect that, like, at all. I didn't even. That was never in the realm of possibility of things that would happen on that episode, especially just a regular TV episode. It kind of sucks, and I really hope that it was really something that well, I would imagine that Ray was okay with it if they were going to go through with it, but I really hope it was something that he was okay with, because I know we've seen Rey Mysterio's face before, but to take it off, like, I clearly saw his face there, so everyone else saw his face there. So it kind of sucks, because you kind of break that mystique of what a luchador is. But it was, like I said, it was definitely not something that I saw coming, and I don't agree with the win. I feel like they went for shock factor, and that's okay sometimes, but in this sense, just with you know the way that the luchadors are portrayed, I feel like this was a little meh for me. I didn't really, I wasn't a fan of this ending. I think right now we're in a moving past that. I think right now we're in a weird spot where Biggie a couple weeks ago tweeted that he had some tests done and he was waiting for the results. So I think they're in a weird stage where they don't know if they want to on from the New Day, like they previously kind of hinted that they were doing, especially with the stuff with bringing a new member in and all that. Before that all tanked, they had a storyline with Xavier and well, the New Day in general, but Xavier and the Authors of Pain with Karrion Cross, where it seemed like they were turning him. It seems like they went with that plan now with someone else because we saw later on that the Miz finally turned on R-Truth. So one way or another, it seems like Karrion Cross is winning by taking someone or breaking another team up. So I think we're stuck in this weird gray area where they don't know if they want to break up the New Day or not. So they have Xavier kind of making these decisions in front of Kofi, and Kofi making these decisions for Xavier, where it's going to build turmoil and eventually it's going to lead up to something. I'm guessing that they're just waiting to see what's going to happen with Big E before they make their move on that.
Definitely. I think the New Day has their 10-year anniversary next month or later this month, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm interested to see if how Xavier Woods continues to develop his character as he's having these internal conflicts on whether or not he wants to move forward with a New Day, whether or not Kofi Kingston is on his level at this moment in time. So there's a lot of conflict there. I'm interested to see how this one's going to play out, especially with the 10-year anniversary coming up. I think Big E will make a TV appearance for that. I'm sure they'll get a major segment there, and we'll get a progression in the storyline moving forward. But in terms of the Intercontinental Championship match, I do see Jey Uso beating him. Kofi even told, sorry, Xavier Woods even told Kofi backstage when he found out he was getting this opportunity. He was super excited because he feels like he can definitely beat Jey Uso. So he has a certain confidence about just getting in the ring with Jey Uso, which is a little disrespectful towards Jey. Jey, if you heard that shit, I need you to come correct next week. Put on another good match like you did with Braun Breaker. Send Xavier Woods packing. Make him go home sad, and we'll see how Xavier Woods and the progression of this the turmoil in the New Day will move forward as we go into their 10-year anniversary.
And Jay ain't losing that belt though. I mean, I feel like this is just gonna build more conflict between Xavier and Kofi. So plus we just put the
Yeah.
belt on him. Why take it off of him for someone as random as Xavier? So
Yeah, for sure. No, I agree. Jay's definitely gonna lose the belt, but he's not losing that shit to
no,
Xavier Woods.
absolutely not.
But moving forward to something that was a little more interesting on Monday Night Raw for me was we finally got Gunther to agree to face Sami Zayn for the World Heavyweight Championship, which will be taking place next week on Monday Night Raw. This came after Sammy and Gunther had a promo battle on in the middle of the ring where Sammy had told Gunther that he was a coward, and he felt like Gunther was afraid of Sammy because he knows he's the one and only person that was able to beat him and his Intercontinental Championship reign, and he just wanted Gunther to admit that he was afraid. To which Gunther responded to Sammy by telling him, "You know what, Sammy? I am afraid. Not afraid of you, but afraid for my reputation because losing to you has been the biggest embarrassment of my career. I was so busy embarrassing you in front of your own family that eventually you did it to me." Gunther then even let Sammy know that after his WrestleMania match, he had to face his father, who told him, "You made me fly out from Vienna to Philadelphia just so I could watch you lose to a bum like Sami Zayn." That was crazy disrespectful. I thought this was a fun promo battle. Um, this kind of reminded me of, I don't know if you've seen it, the Creed 3 movies, where you have Rocky training Apollo Creed's son to face Drago's son. Very similar situation to this, I thought. So I just made that comparison there. And it was an interesting promo. I enjoyed this one. This was probably my segment of the night.
Hmm.
And then Sami Zayn told Gunther that, well, now you know that your dad's son is a loser and a coward. And that's when Gunther got pissed off and he started fucking he clotheslined Sammy with a mean right clothesline. Then he put him in a crazy power bomb that I have. This was the nastiest looking Gunther power bomb that I've seen in a minute.
100%.
This shit looked like it looked like he gave Sammy a fucking concussion the way Sammy's head bounced off the mat. I fucking had a visceral reaction to that shit because even I was like, damn, bro, is Sammy okay? He looks like he got rocked. But while Sammy was on the floor, Gunther grabbed the mic and he said, you know what, Sammy? You've been bitching and hollering about a fucking championship match. I'm gonna give you this match, and that's gonna happen next week on Monday Night Raw. So, what were your thoughts on this promo? How do you think this championship match is gonna play on it?
I think this promo battle, like you said, it was great. I just don't agree with what happened. I don't agree that Gunther, caved in and gave him the shot. I feel like it would have been a lot better if he would have just stuck to his guns and not give him the match at all. I am glad that this is not happening at Bad Blood and it is just happening on a Raw because, to be honest, I don't need to see Gunther beat up Sami Zayn again because that's clearly what's going to happen here. Is Sami Zayn's going to get his ass whooped. But besides that, yeah, I feel like Sammy finally got it what he wanted. You could see it with the smile on his face when he was beat up on the floor, and Gunther was screaming and hollering as he walked back to Gorilla. Like I said, I think Sammy's getting his ass beat on Monday, and I'm glad that this isn't on Bad Blood.
Yeah, I'm also glad this isn't on Bad Blood, but I do think this is gonna fall forward to Crown Jewel. The reason why I say that is because after I don't know if it was after or before this promo, I do believe it was after. Gunther was with Ludwig Kaiser backstage, and Ron Breaker showed up to tell Gunther that he is going to be coming after that World Heavyweight Championship belt. Which Gunther looked at Braun Breaker and said, once you look at this, he is really a badass. And the camera kind of cut. He said it sarcastically. Um, I thought this was interesting, especially with Braun and Sammy's history. And now Braun and Gunther's history back in their NXT days, they used to battle it out as well. I think where this is going to lead, if I had to take a guess, is we've seen Braun Breaker run in, have interruptions in matches that have nothing to do with him. I think he's going to go ahead and have a run in next week during this Gunther and Sami Zayn match, probably sparing both of these guys, leading to a triple threat at Crown Jewel, which will be one of the main matches of that pay-per-view there.
Huh.
What are your thoughts on that prediction?
To me personally, that just seems a little busy. I don't know if I need all three of them in the ring, especially after I just said I don't need to see Gunther and Sammy hit it off again. I do like the prospect of Braun Breaker going after Gunther just because, like I said, I think he kind of said it himself or showed it to us himself that he's not really interested in going back again for the IC belt. I think he thinks he's ready for bigger and better things, and that's why he wants to go for Gunther's belt. So seeing these two go head to head is more interesting than having to throw Sami Zayn in the mix with them. Now, like you said, I think it's interesting, and I hope they do keep him as a heel. Is that they did kind of make Breaker seem like a face when he was talking to Jay, and I think that making him a face right now would be a mistake, especially going into a feud with Gunther, because I think it'd be great if these two just went heel for heel. Who's the better heel? Who can be the bigger asshole? And I think these are two perfect picks to see who can win up one another in that game.
It was definitely, yeah. I didn't really. That's why I didn't fuck with the whole handshaking shit with Jey Uso at the beginning of the show. Like, bro, you're a bad guy. It's okay to be a bad guy.
Yeah.
You don't gotta come out and like shake people's hands, like spear him. He just fucking beat you for your championship, bro. Spear him, send him to hell, or whatever. I am interested. I am interested to see how Gunther and a Braun Breaker feud would play out. I am only nervous, and my only contention with it is I don't want to see Braun go up against Gunther or challenge for the World Heavyweight Championship until it's time for him to win it. I don't want him to lose. I don't want him to have none of that. I want him ready to go when it's his time to win the World Heavyweight Championship. and I think he's um, a viable persona to beat Gunther. Not yet, but once you do decide that it's time for Gunther to lose the belt, I think Braun is one of the most viable in ring characters that would have uh, that would have the belief behind that victory there, which is why I don't want to see it happen so early if we're only going to have Gunther. Braun put Gunther over.
Yeah, I agree with you. That all seems fair. We thought that they were gonna strap the IC belt on him and shoot him to the top, and that clearly didn't happen. And I
So,
think it's just because they have a few plans for Jay right now. So, and like I said, I think Braun was okay with it. I think Braun made it seem like it was okay with it for us at least during that segment, kind of giving us the nod that hey, this was fun, but I'm on to bigger things, and then proving that by challenging Gunther. So if they think that maybe strapping the belt onto Breaker now is the move, then that's what they might go for. I don't know if it's that time yet. Like you said, I think that you need to build him up a little bit more before he defeats someone like Gunther. But I feel like in a series with Gunther, you can build him up to be the one to beat Gunther. So we'll see what their plans are. Right now, I'm not really sure, just because it just happened and we haven't really seen much interaction in these two between these two. But it'll be interesting to see what happens with the next couple weeks coming up.
percent. I do foresee a triple threat happening at Crown Jewel. And Gunther has had a successful run with triple threats. I think one of his best matches was with Drew McIntyre and Sheamus at WrestleMania 39. I think Sami Zayn and Braun Breaker are just as talented as those two other individuals that I just mentioned. So I would be extremely excited and eager to see a match between these three wrestlers. We'll have to wait and see. Then moving forward, there's two more things I want to talk about in regards to this week's Monday Night Raw that were of interest to me. And that is, of course, CM Punk and Drew McIntyre's promo, their final promo before they head into a Hell in a Cell match at Bad Blood, which I believe will be the main event of the show, but we'll have to wait and see. For this promo, we saw CM Punk come out to Evansville, Indiana, wearing all white. He was wearing his famous CM Punk white T-shirt with the two arms crossed each other in the CM Punk flag, wearing white pants, and then Drew McIntyre came out in an all black suit. It was very reminiscent of Undertaker and Shawn Michaels match that took place. I think it was like at WrestleMania 24, 25. I might be speaking out of my ass. We'll have to fact check that later. Um, Very reminiscent of that match there with Shawn wearing all white, Undertaker, of course, wearing all black. Just a quick little detail that I noticed there. But both of these men were ready to kill each other. They had to bring out like 20 supposed security guards as before they even got to the ring, just to make sure that they were going to stay away from each other, because Adam Pierce did not want any physicality to take place prior to their match at Hell in a Cell. But Drew is absolutely on fire during this fucking promo. He told CM Punk, "I'm wearing all black out of respect for your wife, because after this Saturday, your wife is going to have to feed you, bathe you, and she might even leave." And CM Punk was just getting smoked, in my opinion here. CM Punk then just went all out and told Drew McIntyre, basically, "You're gonna have to kill me, and I'm definitely gonna try and kill you on Saturday." So all in all, these guys have been going back and forth with their promos for the last 6 months. We're finally gonna get them in a Hell in a Cell. How are you feeling about this match and their promo battle that they had this last week?
I guess this is the segment that we're gonna disagree on. Oh, I guess in the same respect as we did in the Jey Uso Braun Breaker segment. I thought this promo battle was boring as shit. I thought this was a horrible exchange for a go home show. I thought it was kind of boring. I thought both of their promos were kind of dull and just like I don't know, just your basic run of the mill. Hey, I'm wearing black for your funeral, and Punk being like you're gonna be locked in hell with me. I just thought it was all very generic. I'm so excited for the match. I think these two are gonna tear the house down. They can't wait to get their hands on each other, and with them not being able to touch each other in this segment, I think that's just going to build more anticipation for them when they finally do get their hands on each other. I hope that this is the main event because this is main event caliber, and nothing else on this card screams main event caliber to me. The tag match, yes, it's big, but it's just not main event compared to a Hell in the Cell between these two. So I'm excited for this match, but to be honest, in this promo battle, it just didn't do it for me.
That's fair. That's fair. Definitely one of the weaker promo exchanges between the two individuals. I think what this feud was missing, if I was, backstage, if I was writing the show, when Randy Orton and Triple H had their feud, remember when Randy Orton fucking kicked fucking Vince McMahon, uh tied Stephanie up to the ring post, or no, tied Triple H up to the ring post, while I think he RKO'd Stephanie, and then he made Triple H like watch him kiss his wife. That was crazy disrespectful. Like, but one of the major segments that I remember from that feud was when Triple H showed up to Randy Orton's house with a fucking sledgehammer, destroying walls, throwing Randy through walls, through the windows. Like, that was sick. I thought if like Drew McIntyre were to had shown up at CM Punk's supposed home, with AJ Lee in the back, the dog Larry there, barking and shit. Drew McIntyre pulls up with like a fucking bad beat CM Punk's ass or something, throws him through a window, like something along those lines. A cinematic experience in that sense would have been sick and would have been nice for this feud, just because we have seen them go back and forth on the mic so many times. You can only say so many different things when talking about the same individual over and over again. So I'm still looking very much forward to this match on Saturday. You're 1,000% correct. On paper, this should definitely be the main event. I'm a Cody fan. I'm a Roman fan. They're probably gonna put Cody on that main event, being that it is his hometown. Um, but I wouldn't mind CM Punk and Drew McIntyre in a Hell in a Cell in the main event of Bad Blood. It just screams Bad Blood main event. So we'll have to wait and see. If I was a betting man, I would probably bet that this would be the main event. If I was a betting man, but betting is illegal in California, so we no longer partake in those activities there. But before we get into our predictions for Bad Blood, I want to talk about a surprise return that we had this week on Monday Night Raw. I was not expecting to happen yet, but Bronson Reed and Braun Strowman had a last monster standing match. These two big motherfuckers were out here just trying to murder each other in the main event of this show. I think they had a blast. There was a spot in this show where I think it was fucking Braun Strowman sent Bronson Reed into like the barricade by the
Bro.
ring announcer, bro, and he sent him into the barricade. And I don't know if these were actors. I don't know if they're, indie wrestlers. I didn't think they were, because the way the camera cut and Bronson had to take a step back for like 30 seconds and he was like, what the fuck is going on? And they had like medical personnel rush to the barricade because fans were supposedly injured. And then you go back and you watch the replay and you see like fucking Braun Strowman sent Bronson into fucking three fans. One of them may have been unconscious. I don't think. Listen, I think it was fake. I think they were plants, but I don't fucking know. I wasn't there. But that shit looked legit. These two motherfuckers try to kill each other. There was also another spot where I think it was Braun hit a suplex on Bronson Reed off the top rope. I thought the entire ring was supposed to collapse, but only the turnbuckles fell. Um, and then that is when, the ref started counting to 10, motherfuckers still getting up. There was the steel steps were perfectly placed in the middle of the ring, and Braun is struggling to get up. Bronson Reed has his head laying on the steel steps. He's using the steps to bolster himself up, and that is when the crowd starts to go a little crazy. The camera cuts to the ramp, and we see none other than Seth freaking Rollins running up to the ring. He hits a curb stomp on Bronson Reed, knocking him out. The ref counts to 10. Bronson is asleep. Braun Strowman wins this match. Just a batshit crazy main event. Ending with Seth Rollins' triumphant return to Monday Night Raw following some supposed injuries, being written off TV by none other than Bronson Reed. How did you feel about this main event? What were your thoughts? Did you think the barricade spot was real? Were those real fans that were hurt? Were those plants? How do you feel about Seth Rollins' return? And where do you see Bronson Reed versus Seth Rollins taking place?
Fuck, I mean that's a lot. Let's see. Let's start off with the barricade. I think the barricade. I'm gonna hope that they were all plants. I really hope that no one got hurt. Like we said, stuff like this happens, and I could see these two big motherfuckers not paying attention and having something like this happen. I'm completely glad that Samantha was not in that position because holy shit, she would have been broken if she would have stayed there. The spot it looked gnarly though. It looked great. If it was faked, it still looked fucking amazing. This match was my point of the night, I would say, just because it was everything that I wanted from it. It was two big guys just fucking beating the living shit out of each other. I will say that at least from the version that we watched, WWE, please, if this ever gets to you, pick your fucking commercial spots better. There were several times where me and my buddy Chris, shouts out to my buddy Chris who watches wrestling with me, where we would come back and we're like, how the fuck did that? Like you said, there was a perfectly placed steel step in the ring. How the fuck did that get there? Because it happened during commercial breaks and I don't know what happened. So just WWE, please pick your commercial spots better because that having shit like that happen in a match like this sucks because we want to know everything that happens in these matches. Like you said though, eventually this ended with um with Seth Rollins coming back and stomping Bronson. I feel like this is perfect, especially since this feud that we've had between Bronson and I'm forgetting his name. Braun
Braun
Strowman.
Strowman?
Braun Strowman kind of seems like it's gonna have to come to an end because Braun Strowman really did get hurt. I saw earlier on Twitter that reports say that he's gonna be out for a bit because he really did hurt himself during that match. So this opens up Bronson Reed to fight Seth Rollins, and I'm sure Seth Rollins wants his revenge from what happened. And I would too. Shit, all those tsunamis, dude. I would want my revenge too. So I'm excited to see where this goes.
Nah, for sure. Seth Rollins knows how to put on a fucking match. He put on a match with Omos that was fucking 3.5 stars, 4 stars, maybe, according to Dave Meltzer, depending on how he was feeling that day. We all know that motherfucker can't explain the meaning of his 5 star matches. But that's a conversation for a different day. Anyways, Seth Rollins is an elite talent. Any person he gets in the ring with, he's gonna make look good. Not saying Bronson Reed isn't a great wrestler or anything along those lines. Bronson Reed has been on fire as of lately. I think putting him in a match with Seth Rollins is gonna be fantastic. They're gonna try to kill each other. I want to see Seth get hit with a few more tsunamis personally. I might even want to see Bronson Reed go over in that match. That's just me. I might be crazy right now. But what interests me the most about Seth Rollins' return is, on the other side of the WWE, on SmackDown over there, the last person that Cody teamed with was Seth Rollins, if I'm not mistaken. And that was to take on The Rock and Roman Reigns for the future of the WWE. How is he going to feel about Cody and Roman teaming up? These are feuds I want to see take place again. I'm excited again. This is a great time to be a fan. WrestleMania 441 is on the rise. Listen, guys, we're in October. We're in October.
Brother,
We're not so far
we are
away.
far away.
We're not so far away. Not enough. Not enough. Not enough. We have two more of the major four pay-per-views left, which is Survivor Series and of course the Royal Rumble. A lot of time left. A lot of time left. But Triple H likes to take his time and cook up these storylines. So I'm just interested to see where Seth Rollins' head is at, Randy Orton's head is at, Kevin Owens' head is at, all with Cody and Roman teaming up. All I gotta say. That's all I gotta say. How do you feel about, Seth? Where do you think Seth's head would be at finding out that Cody and Roman are teaming up to face the Bloodline? How do you think Seth
To be
feels?
honest, I hadn't even thought of that. So I don't know, dude. I don't know if that's going to be something that comes into play just because I feel like he's going to have his hands full right now with Bronson Reed. But if I would have to say, he's not going to be too happy about it either. So when the time comes and he has to come and join Randy and KO to turn on Cody, I think he's going to be there.
Yeah, no, I agree. I'm excited, man. I'm excited. We're finally, people been bitching and complaining, talking about Cody don't got no solid feuds. Cody just has good wrestling matches. Yeah, whatever. I like to see what y'all got to say when he starts feuding with the big dogs like Kevin Owens, Randy Orton, Seth Rollins again. Because Cody and Seth they've already had their differences in the past. Cody's first match back in the WWE at WrestleMania 38 in Dallas, Texas, in Cowboy Stadium was against Seth Rollins. The famous Hell in a Cell match where Cody had that torn pectoral muscle, that was against Seth Rollins. They have history. They have beef. And Seth Rollins, in my opinion, Seth is at his best when he's a heel. That's just my opinion. So I'm excited to see where that's gonna go. Seth, if I'm you, bro, I'm feeling some type of way. How you gonna go ahead and turn your? I'm gone for 2 months. I'm hurt. My knees hurt, and you gonna go turn your back on us, on the guys that helped you win the championship, the team that was there to support you. You gonna forget who helped raise you up to that pedestal, and you gonna team up with a guy that tried to bring you down? That's crazy. That
It's
is
just one
crazy.
match, though,
That's just how I
boys.
feel
It's just
about
one
that.
match. Is one match too
No,
bad?
it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. That's like cheating on
Oh,
someone
fuck.
and being like, it
Or
was just one time. It was
let's
just one time.
relax.
It was, I just cheated one time. I'm just saying, bro, try to explain that to your significant partner and let me know
Listen,
how
not
that
the
goes.
same.
But moving forward, I think that wraps up my summary for Monday Night Raw on my
Monday
behalf.
Night
Let me know
Raw.
if I'm missing anything that you wanted to talk about on that front.
No, I think maybe I would just want to get your thoughts because you had called it maybe a couple weeks ago. I want to get your thoughts on Miz finally turning on R-Truth and that whole situation. I mean, the match itself wasn't a great match or anything, but the whole moment of him finally turning, it seems like you finally got your wish and something that you kind of predicted a couple weeks ago.
How could I forget? The Miz turned his back on R-Truth during a match against AOP. Listen, Karrion Kross was there again as the manager, fucking sitting on the sideline over there. I don't even know what the fuck he said to the camera, to be honest. That shit, I like. Listen, I was hyped. I told you, I'm looking forward to when Miz turns on R-Truth. We get badass Miz again because Miz is a solid wrestler. Miz does his thing, and to see him turn, walk away from R-Truth when he needed some help, he was frustrated with him. I thought that was an interesting way to do it. Against AOP, I could give a fuck. Like, oh my god, I'm so tired of the Final Testament. You guys give them everything. You give them everything, every spot, every match, every segment, every turn, and we still don't give a fuck. It happened. Evansville, Indiana, they didn't even really boo. They just, like my friend Will pointed out, they were like, bro, they're not even booing. They're just groaning. They're like, oh brother, here we go again. And I guess that reaction is better than no reaction. But all in all, I was hyped to see the Miz turn on R-Truth. He's somebody that fits into the Intercontinental title
Mm-hmm.
picture as a singles competitor. So excited to have him back on his own run. We're definitely gonna get an R-Truth Miz match at some point. Hopefully on Monday Night Raw. That's not a PLE level match. As much as I love R-Truth, as much as I love the Miz. So hopefully we see that play out on WWE TV. But yeah, Karrion Kross, Final Testament, y'all gotta figure some shit out, man. I don't fucking know. Maybe take a break for a bit, go to NXT, do something, bro. Like NXT's on the CW now. They're on fucking national television. Go over there. Go wrestle Axiom and
No,
Frazier. Go do something else. Cause
we'll trade you.
goddamn, I don't know what the
We'll
fuck
trade
y'all
you
are
guys
doing.
AOP and Karrion Cross with Scarlett as an added bonus. If you guys just give us Axiom and Frazier, you guys can work on them for a bit, and we will, push up Axiom and Frazier as a great tag team. I feel like that's a fair trade. I feel like we need to get that old fucking bag of bones Elrig out of the scene, because him coming up and holding up the hands for those two giants, even though he's not tall enough to do so, is horrible for TV.
Yeah, they give Carrion everything. They give this man everything and nothing works. And it sucks because like you said, like you're a fan. Bro's from Vegas. I'm sure bro's solid. I'm sure he's a great guy. His girlfriend's smoking. He's had a lot of
Yeah.
success. As an individual, very successful individual. He just can't seem to figure it out. For WWE TV, I
Maybe
don't
Pete Dunne
get it.
has to
I don't get it.
go start a feud with him. I mean, obviously Trick figured it out.
I
So
don't even want that for Pete Dunne. I don't even want that for Pete Dunne. Like Pete Dunne doesn't deserve that. Carrion, go do something in NXT, bro. Go challenge Trick Williams. Just do something, dog. Even the North American title. Like fuck. Go feed AOP to Obafemi. Cause them two motherfuckers not doing nothing for Carrion Cross. So go figure that shit out. I'm sorry. My rant here is
let's
done
get these
with Carrion Cross.
predictions in.
I don't even mean to be disrespectful. But moving forward, as we said, we're excited. This weekend is Bad Blood. We've been waiting for this pay-per-view for a very, very, very long time. These advertisements have been out since SummerSlam, maybe even before then, with Metro Boomin and Cody Rhodes chilling in the
Oh, yeah.
Mustang right outside the stadium. So we've been excited to see that. I hope we get a Metro Boomin performance. Maybe Future comes out. I don't know. With Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill announces the host of the show. We might be able to spice it up. Sexy Red is performing on the CW next week for WWE NXT on Tuesday. If they got Sexy Red on NXT, I'm gonna need
No, dude,
Future
Future's not
or
happening.
some Atlanta rapper to pull up. Somebody got to do something. No, don't send me Lil Yachty. I was gonna say send me Lil Yachty, but I don't want Lil Yachty. Send me somebody from Atlanta with even Ludacris.
Who is
Give
it?
me Ludacris. I'd be
My
cool
buddy
with
Chris had
Ludacris.
said Lil Jon, I think, because he's from Atlanta.
Lil Jon
Yeah,
would be
I
hype.
have.
Just give me somebody.
I mean, that would be
local.
dope. But how can we not even talk? I mean, I finally got a prediction right. I had a Rob Stradamus moment, and I said that Cody, they needed to go full with the meme and get him a marching band, and he is. They have the Atlanta
Word.
marching band coming out and doing his theme song, which is fucking sick. I'm hyped to see that.
That is gonna be sick as fuck. Great call there. I'm excited to see that entrance. Speaking of entrances, there is one entrance that I do love to watch back. It is none other than the Tribal Chief Roman Reigns at WrestleMania 39. I think that entrance, phenomenal
Which one was that
entrance.
one? Was that the choir?
Phenomenal. Out of this world.
The choir
That
was
was the
sick. The choir
choir.
was dope.
It was the piano. Oh my God, it was sick. The two championships, that was one of the last moments he had the two titles. But anyways, back to the point. I think if this Cody Rhodes entrance with the marching band works out the way we want it to, it could rival that Roman Reigns entrance. We're gonna have to wait and see. But no, listen, very excited for this pay-per-view here. I am going to be grabbing a bottle of Nightbloom and pouring that into my cup before this pay-per-view starts this upcoming Saturday. And if you haven't already, make sure you guys grab a bottle of Nightbloom as well before the pay-per-view, as this episode and all our other episodes have been brought to you by none other than Nightbloom Vodka. And Nightbloom is an American-made craft vodka of the highest standard. So make sure you guys grab a bottle of Nightbloom before this weekend's Bad Blood. But speaking of which, let's go into our predictions here. With the first match that I have set is Nia Jax versus Bayley for the WWE Women's Champion. How are you feeling about this feud in general? And if you had to put a house on it, King Jess, who are you betting on to win this match this upcoming Saturday?
This match, or who is taking the belt home? Because I feel like those are two different things.
This match, and then you could tell me about who's taking the belt.
Because honestly, I feel like there's a little bit more story to tell between Nia and Tiffy, but I think that maybe the crowd is getting a little bit over it. So I think that they might pull the final Money in the Bank briefcase on this one. But before we get to that, Nia versus Bailey. I think we have Nia winning this. I don't think you have Bailey win over Nia after building up Nia as this monstrous heel of a champion as you have these past couple weeks, making her look, like a giant bully and like someone that the belt's not coming off of anytime soon. So I say Nia wins this, but the caveat being that Tiffy finally catches in that Money in the Bank, and we finally get Tiffy time, and she walks out as the new women's champion.
I I
Okay.
agree. I agree. I think Tiffany Stratton is going to walk out as the new WWE Women's Champion. I think this last Friday night made it prominent because Nia got in Tiffany's face. She grabbed her face like she was a
It was
child.
disrespectful.
And I thought that shit was crazy disrespectful. Like, yo, Big J Lo was wilding out. Like, bro, you don't grab
Did
somebody
you
like
just
that.
say
Yo, that's
Big
mad
J-Lo?
disrespectful. Big J Lo, bro. You don't do that, bro. Not Tiffany. Out of all people, you don't do that to
How
my
you
girl
gonna damage
Tiffany.
the
You don't
goods?
do that to anybody at all. Bro, crazy. Grabbed her, squeezed her face and shit. Talking about, oh, I better not lose, etc. Or you're gonna have to pay for it. Talking spicy. Like Tiffany doesn't have one of the best insults in the game she gonna hit her with on Saturday night. But I do think Nia is gonna win this match. I do think Nia is gonna win this match. She's gonna overpower Bailey. We're gonna see Tiffany, maybe Tiffany comes out in the middle of the match, trying to aid Nia Jax, trying to serve as a distraction for Bailey, and it works out to Nia's favor. Then Tiffany walks in with her Money in the Bank briefcase and cashes it in. Do you think though? Do you think that the match ends as not with Nia winning and then Tiffany cashes in, or do you think Tiffany cashes in during the middle of the
I
match?
think Nia barely wins. I think she's down and out. She's gone through hell with Bailey. And like you said, I think it benefits Tiffy just being out there already. So I think that she comes out mid match, just to cause that distraction, maybe
Mm.
cause maybe some turmoil inside the match. And like I said, Nia barely wins by the skin of her teeth. She's down and out, and Tiffy just decides, you know what, this is my opportunity, and no one's gonna take it from me. So she hits her over with the briefcase at least once just to solidify the win, and then she cashes in for the pin. I think that's the only way that you make this seem believable with a rush cash in like that, because she can believably beat Nia Jackson in a one-on-one match, but this isn't a one-on-one match. This is her cashing in the briefcase. So I think that this is the perfect scenario for her to do such thing.
Definitely. But we both have Nia Jax winning the match, but Tiffany Stratton walking out
Oh
of
yeah,
bad
it's
blood
Tiffy time.
out of Atlanta, Georgia, as the WWE Women's Champion. It definitely is Tiffy time. And hopefully we get our first championship run for Miss Tiffany Stratton over there. But speaking of women's champions, we have another women's world championship match, and that is between none other than Mommy Rhea Ripley versus Liv Morgan, with Dominic Mysterio having the best seat in the house, hanging above the ring in a shark cage, which is extremely interesting. I just feel like that's a little dangerous if you ask me, because anything could go wrong. So knocking on wood
Hopefully
here,
nothing goes
knocking
on
on wood.
goes wrong.
Hopefully nothing goes wrong, but having a motherfucker dangle over two women for 20 minutes, in a steel cage, a little interesting to say the least. Besides the point, Rhea Ripley versus Liv Morgan for this championship. Who do you think is going to walk away as the women's world champion following
I
Saturday night?
got the chicken tendy hottie retaining her belt. I think that even though Dominic Mysterio is going to be inside of a shark cage, I don't think that he's going to be empty handed. I feel like he'll bring some tools along that might help in a moment of distraction with the ref. But at the end of the day, we can't not think that the Judgment Day is going to get involved here. I think that Finn has some kind of investment towards Liv, and I feel like they kind of teased that on Raw with the whole phone call between Dom and
Mm-hmm.
Finn. So I think that eventually we might get to see this secret partnership like that we have predicted before between Finn and Liv come to fruition. So I think that at the end of the day they have to protect their assets, and I think Liv winning the belt is better for the Judgment Day. So I think they might cause a run in too to help Liv so that she can retain that belt. But at the end of the day, Chicken Tendy Mommy's coming home with that belt.
I agree. I think Liv Morgan is gonna walk away as the and still after Saturday night. Um, yeah, you mentioned it. I forgot to mention this during our recap of Monday Night Raw. But Liv and Finn Balor were on the phone. Dominic Mysterio and the rest of the Judgment Day were not involved in that conversation. Liv kind of shrugged it off. She said she was speaking to Finn Balor about some business this upcoming weekend, and Finn had actually informed her that he was running late and having some travel issues, etc., etc. But I think that was just a little hint for this weekend here. I think Liv and Finn Balor have a little bit more of an affinity that between each other that they're giving off on WWE TV. So excited to see how that's going to play out for between both of them. I had mentioned a few episodes back that I think that Liv Morgan and Finn Balor may have made a call for some additional help there with Raquel Rodriguez. We haven't heard about her in a very, very, very long time. This is a long shot for sure. Like you said, Dom probably is going to go up there empty handed. He may drop a weapon or two to help Liv Morgan out. And then the Judgment Day will, of course, run out, get involved in the match. Um, we'll have to wait and see. I do think Liv Morgan is going to walk out as the WWE Women's World Champion. Not sure how she's going to do it, if that's going to be by way of maybe even a disqualification or something along those lines. But I do think she retains this weekend, unfortunately, for the original mommy, the Australian mommy, Rhea Ripley. I think she's going to go home a loser. We'll see how that continues to play out as well for this feud here. But speaking of the Judgment Day, moving forward with Finn Balor versus Damian Priest, who do you have winning this match here?
This one was a tough one. I had to kind of think about this one, but I think at the end, just because I feel like the storyline isn't done, and if you had Priest win, it would be done. I feel like Finn takes this one only to keep building up this new Judgment Day stronger. Like I said, I think Judgment Day is going to help out Liv to protect their asset because she is someone with a belt. So I feel like in this one, Finn needs to win in order to keep making the Judgment Day look strong. Also, the Territorians have been on top for a hot minute against them recently, so I think it's time that the Judgment Day finally gets one over.
Sure, we are, sticking together here. I think Finn Balor's gonna win this match as well. Um, Finn Balor got a new T-shirt this week. Pretty sick T-shirt if you haven't checked it out on WWEshop.com. No plug here, just letting y'all know. He has a pretty sick T-shirt that just got released that I appreciated. Judgment Day got some new gear. I think they're gonna win this match. I think Finn is gonna win this match. I think Finn needs this match more than Damian Priest needs this match. Damian Priest is over at this moment is one of the hottest baby faces on Monday Night Raw. Ever since he lost that belt to Gunther, ever since Finn Balor turned his back on his old friend, old brother, old Judgment Day partner. Um, I think Finn does need this win more than the Damian Priest just to continue building that belief in the old Finn Balor of age. People forget how strong, how talented, how well rounded Finn Balor is as a wrestler. I hope they give these guys 30 minutes just to go out and try to murder each other because Finn Balor is ultra fucking talented. That man could put on a fucking match. We've seen Damien put on matches with the likes of Bad Bunny. So I hope they give them 30 minutes here. If I had to predict what my sleeper match of the night is going to be, it's going to be Finn Balor versus Damian Priest. I can see us walking away from this weekend, looking back at it, even with CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre in a Hell in a Cell. I think this match here has the potential to steal the show, has the potential to be the best match of the night. and the best match of recent pay-per-views with the talented individuals that will be facing each other here. My money's on Finn Balor. Bro, it will be cold, bad blood. Bring out the
It
demon,
would.
brother. Bring out the demon. That's all I'm saying, Finn. Have a chance to do some sick shit. We haven't seen you bring out the demon. WrestleMania 39. If you bring the motherfucking demon out, Triple H, I'm gonna need you to put Finn Balor over. Because the last time we saw the fucking demon, you had Edge's bitch ass beat Finn Balor. And what the fuck happened after that? Edge went on to AEW. So I'm still pissed about that shit because Finn should have won that Hell in a Cell match at WrestleMania 39. But back to this fucking pay-per-view. Finn goes over. Finn brings out the demon. Finn and Priest put on a fucking banger. They steal the show. Where I'm at with this one. But moving forward, have CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre in a Hell in a Cell. Who do you think walks away? Who do you think gets murdered here? Does anyone die? Is anyone sent home in a
No.
hospital? Does anyone heart stop completely during this match here? Who do you have winning this Hell in a
This is
Cell match?
another tough one where I kind of had to sit and think because it really is like another situation where McIntyre has lost a lot, and so has Punk, but not as much as Drew. So it's kind of like a tough situation of do you put McIntyre over in this, or do you put someone like CM Punk over and give him a bigger feud after this? I'm not sure, but just because of how they built it up, the anger that CM Punk has held within, not being able to get his hands on McIntyre, I gotta say Punk takes this one.
Really?
Yes.
That's interesting.
I'm guessing you have.
I think this is where
I'm
we
guessing you have
disagree.
McIntyre on this one.
I'm guessing. I think this is
I feel
where we
like this has
disagree.
always been the feud that we
I think,
disagree on, though. I feel like every time this feud happens, you and me are on opposite sides.
yeah, I for sure. I think I'm right here, though. I would, of course, think that I'm being biased towards myself, but I think Drew McIntyre needs this win a little bit more than CM Punk. It makes sense to have CM Punk win the match only because we've seen him already challenge, Gunther for the World Heavyweight Championship match. CM Punk thought he was gonna challenge him after the strap match he had with Damian Priest. He thought shit was sweet. Shit was not sweet. Uh, sorry, Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre came out that following Monday Night Raw, swept him under the rug, beating his ass, sent him home in a fucking hospital stretcher there, sent him home in an ambulance. So we've already seen the hints that Punk is going for the World Heavyweight Championship. I've been one to tell you that at Survivor Series, I can see Punk facing Gunther. That would be an interesting match. But there's a pay per view in between then. So with the pay per view being in between the Crown Jewel, I can see Drew winning this match, giving Punk enough time to get another win under his belt with maybe someone else, and feuding with Gunther. Um, but I think Drew wins this match. I think like logically,
Mm.
logically, from just like a fan in the crowd. If I'm a child, if I'm a 5, 6 year old child in this fucking crowd on Saturday, and I see this big motherfucker, 6'4", 285 pounds, walking into this fucking Hell in a Cell, and then I see this other mid-sized mother, maybe like 6'1", 225. You could see the size difference, the disparity in the men. Like one dude is clearly way better equipped to handle a match like this. That's just what I just feel that a certain way about Drew McIntyre. I think Drew has put the body of work, has put the effort into the promos. This has been his best feud in a very long time. Maybe his best feud ever. This has been his best work in the WWE. And I think he will be handsomely rewarded with a victory over CM Punk this
Okay.
weekend. I think that's where the feud ends. I got Drew. I got Drew. We're gonna have to disagree here. But I got that
Like I
boy
said, I
Drew.
think we always, when it comes down to McIntyre versus Punk, we're always on opposite sides. I always feel like CM Punk's gonna go over, and you feel like McIntyre is gonna go over. So it'll be interesting to see who actually goes over in this one. This one's a little tough. I feel like I said before, I feel like it's a little tough to call this one. And like you said,
Yeah.
maybe your biases are leaning you my way, and maybe my biases are leaning me a different way. But I think it's Punk's win. I don't think that the McIntyre necessarily needs this win. I feel like McIntyre kind of thrives in between. I feel like he's not someone that needs wins and needs loses to have him be in a main picture. I feel like he interjects himself just with his personality alone into other feuds, and I think that's fine. So yeah, I don't know. I think I'm just gonna stick to my guns. I felt like maybe you were swaying me there for a bit, but nah, I'm gonna stick to my guns. I'm gonna say Punk on this one.
All right, we're gonna have to disagree there. I got Drew. I got Drew. Drew, don't let me down, brother. Don't let me down. Please win this match, man.
We'll see. We'll see.
Please win this match. I don't want to be wrong. I don't want to be wrong on. I could be wrong about all other fucking 4 matches, but this match, Drew, don't let me down. I'm gonna be pissed, brother. I'm gonna be watching this shit. I'm gonna be a little drunk watching this shit. Don't piss me off, Drew.
I
Don't
guess
piss
it also
me off, man.
depends.
You're
It
better
depends
than
where this
Punk.
falls, right?
You're better
Because
than
like if
Punk.
it's like main event, maybe a McIntyre win would be better. But if this is like co-main event or maybe earlier in the night, it's like I don't know, dude.
Drew has to win, bro. Drew has to win. Bro, Drew has to win off the sole fact that CM Punk flew to his home country, bro. Flew to his home country, bro, during his championship match against Damian Priest just to kick bro in the nuts and cost him his title, bro. Like just off of that fact alone, dog. Drew, you can't let another man fly to your country, bro. From fly like 12, 16 hours, however many fucking hours it was to fly from Chicago to Glasgow, brother. You can't let this old hag fly to your country, put on a referee shirt, kick you in your nuts, have the other Puerto Rican motherfucker win and count to 3 and pin, bro. Can't do that, bro. You have to stand up for some. If you haven't stood up for anything, stand up for this, bro. Do not lose to Punk on Saturday. That's all I gotta say. All I
The
gotta
passion
say.
is real.
I got the house on Drew. I got the house on Drew. Don't cost me the house,
Not the
brother.
house again.
But
Okay.
I haven't lost the house yet. So let's see. Let's see. Moving forward to the match that I am excited to see, got 2 of my favorites, Cody and Roman. Cody and Roman teaming up. Who would have thought you would have lived in a universe, King Jess, where Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns would be teaming up to face a Bloodline 2.0 and Solo Sikoa versus Jacob Fatu. I don't know if we're in Earth 116. I don't know which Earth we're in. But we're in a universe where this is happening. This will be taking place this Saturday. But before we get into a prediction, this morning on the Pat McAfee, Mr. Cody Rhodes himself was live on air. We've talked about Cody giving spoilers before. We're not the biggest fans of it, but I would be lying to you. I said I didn't smile a little bit when he shared today during the Pat McAfee that at Bad Blood there will be a video package that will be played that will have major title implications as we head into Crown. Cool. Instantly, immediately, the first thought that came into my head was Cody and Roman Part 3.
Okay.
Could it be? I don't think so yet. But could it be? It could be anything. But how do you feel about Cody giving that little hint there? Dropping the spoiler on the Pat McAfee. If you had to take a guess, what do you think that video package with major title implications heading into Crown Jewel mean? You had to take a guess.
I don't know, to be honest. I mean, it has to be someone that's actively in the company, and I mean, I guess that would make sense to be to be Roman Reigns, because I was kind of thinking as you were saying that, because I didn't watch the Pat show. I didn't know that this had been announced. I was thinking, okay, well maybe if this goes on last, and we all know that there will be an interference at some point in this match. Maybe it's a bigger interference than we thought. I thought maybe, okay, maybe this is the point in time that we pull The Rock back, because The Rock has fulfilled all his filming obligations. He is now free. Maybe you pull him, and maybe the Saudi nation wants Cody versus The Rock over for Crown Jewel. But since it's a video package that has, I'm guessing, already been recorded, it most definitely has to be against someone in the company that's actively in the company. Because why would you record something beforehand? You would just give it away that they knew that he was coming. So it might as well be a Roman versus Cody 3. Do I think that it's time? I think I'm with you. I don't think it's time yet. But who else can this be going into, especially with title implications, going into Crown Jewel? I have no idea.
Yeah. Yeah, I listen. We know that oil money over there in Saudi Arabia speaks volumes. We know they got a different kind of bag over there on that side of the world. They might be throwing a bag at that
Mm-hmm.
boy Triple H, Cody Rhodes, and Roman Reigns. We might be getting this match. I don't think this match is going to like. This is getting far ahead. Like we haven't even talked about predictions for the fucking Bad Blood match yet. But if Crown Jewel happens, it's Cody versus Roman Part 3. I think it's going to be a short match because we're going to get an interference. I think that's where The Rock starts to come in before Survivor Series to set up the war game shit. But that's that's in a month. Let's get to Bad Blood first before we start fucking fantasy booking this shit. My mind is already running wild. Just like how Hulk Hogan used to run the ropes and hit
We
motherfuckers
need to
with
talk
his
about
leg
that
drop.
motherfucker too, because that
So
Vince stock is something else.
yeah, we got to get to that on a separate episode there. I still have yet to finish the
Same.
entire documentary. I think I'm on episode 4. But it's been a very solid documentary so far. Hulk Hogan said I lied to the government. I told him I was gonna say Vince was giving us steroids. Psych, bitch. He wasn't giving us no steroids on the stand. I was crazy. I wasn't even alive back then, but just to hear that, I was like, yo, Hulk was wilding, bro. He was wilding. But anyways, back to Bad Blood. Back to Bad Blood. We have the tag match of the night: Cody Rhodes, Roman Reigns, Solo Sikoa, and Jacob Font. What I am most excited for is when we finally get Mr. Roman Reigns and Mr. Jacob Fatu squaring off against each other in the middle of the ring. Because if I had to take a guess, I think Cody and Solo start this match. Roman's not going to want to start this match. Cody and Solo start off. They go back and forth. We get Jacob beating on Cody a little bit. Cody gets the hot tag to Roman. And we get Roman and Jacob in the middle of the ring. And this is the Roman Reigns and Jacob Fatu.
Mm-hmm.
This is a money match. This singles match will be a money match when they decide to put it on whatever pay-per-view they decide to put it on. This one right here, title match, money match, main event match, whatever. But this is a dream match. So Roman Reigns versus Jacob Fatu. And man, Jacob has been on fire since making his debut on. Anytime he shows up on your screen, he's gonna do some crazy shit. He might knock out the ref. He might kick Samantha Irvin in the neck. It all depends on how he's feeling that day. But that's what I'm most excited for to see in this match. Getting that Roman Reigns and Jacob Fatu one-on-one, even if it's for 30 seconds to a minute and a half, whatever. I'm just excited to see Roman and Jacob go back and forth, especially since Jacob is the one that kind of put Roman out for those last couple of weeks, hitting him with that running, what do they call it? The running butt that he hits people with, hitting him with the fucking whisper in the winds, putting him through a table. Like, Jacob knocked my brother out, bro. Roman gonna need to get his revenge. He's gonna need to get his revenge. And so I'm excited mostly about that. In terms of predictions, this one is tough, man. This one is tough. I think Roman Reigns and Cody win this shit. I think. But I could see that bald motherfucker making a comeback on Saturday. and hitting Cody and Roman with a couple
Mm-hmm.
rock bottoms. I could see the big Samoan OG come out and hit some rock bottoms on Roman and Cody. The same way we felt about, how does Seth feel? How does Randy feel? How does Kevin Owens feel about Cody teaming up with Roman? How does The Rock feel about Roman teaming up with Cody? Especially after Cody supposedly disrespected that brother's family, even though Roman was talking about Cody's dead father. We're not gonna get into that. But how does The Rock feel about Roman teaming up with Cody? Especially after watching Roman lose the belt at WrestleMania 40, giving Roman the opportunity by winning their tag match against Cody and Seth Rollins the night before. So, uh, tough decision, tough decision. I had to put money on it. I think Solo and Jacob
Wow.
win because of some bullshit. I think they win because of some bullshit. I do think they win because of some bullshit. But what are your thoughts and predictions? I've talked a
You're
lot.
good.
I apologize. Go ahead,
Okay,
King.
so predictions for the match. In general, I think I'm gonna go against you on this one. So I guess on the final two we're gonna disagree. I think Cody and Roman, that's an easy win. I feel like what's important here is gonna what's gonna happen after. And whether that be something between Roman and just the Bloodline 2.0 that we have now, or what I would prefer is Cody Roman win. You know, the Bloodline 2.0 is scattered across the floor outside of the ring. And like you said, you hear that bald motherfucker's music hit, and he comes out. But he doesn't come out alone. I think we're sticking to the rumor that we heard, and I think he pops the surprise of the wise man being behind him. And I think that throws Roman into a spiral. And like you said, I think it's time that he returns. Like I said before, his filming obligations are done. I think it's time for him to return so that we can start setting up, OG Bloodline versus Bloodline 2.0 with Rock at the helm. So at the end of the night, I do fully expect him to be there. Um, just some wishful thinking, I guess, on my part, some fantasy booking, but I think that it's something that we need to start building up, and I think it's time for him to come back. If he has nothing to do, then I think it's perfect for him to come and pop at the end of that segment.
Bro, that's crazy disrespectful, bro. You think Paul Heyman's gonna come back and be
It's
on
like
the
I
side
told you,
of
I
the
think
rock,
it's gonna
of the
be in a
pebble,
kidnap situation. I
of La
feel like he's
Piedra?
gonna show that he doesn't want to be there, but The Rock has that power over him as being ahead of the company. I feel like he's gonna be holding him hostage to make Roman kind of vulnerable.
Maybe, fool. I would
All right.
disagree, fool. I don't think The Rock's gonna
I
fuck
think
with
I
Paul
think if
Heyman, fool. I
I
think
think with all
Paulie,
the
I think Paulie rather die. I think Paulie rather die than ever
I don't know.
fucking
I just
show
think
up and
it
be on The
makes for
Rock's
good
side
TV. It
with
makes
how
for
much
this
he loves it.
this storyline of like shit. Like that was Roman's right hand, and now he's being forced to be the Rock's right hand, even though he doesn't want to be. And maybe we'll see signs of Paulie kind of sneaking away to talk to Roman or give him some advice while he's under it, and maybe he gets punished, and then Roman has to save him from that kind of shit. I don't know. I feel like there's some truth in that rumor that maybe Paulie comes back as the right hand for The Rock, especially if we're gonna go into something like Survivor Games and we're just gonna build that pay per view around Bloodline versus Bloodline. I think that's perfect, and I think that a pay per view like Bloodline can use a big impact moment like that towards the end.
That's fair. It is fair. Listen, all is fair in love and war, but I don't think that's gonna happen. I do think The Rock makes an appearance this weekend. I don't know
Okay.
in what capacity. Maybe Jimmy Uso returns. There's a lot of potential for this match. There's a lot of
Mm-hmm.
potential, a lot of run-in potential, a lot of dramatics. Anything with the bloodline always has fucking dramatics involved. The dramatization of it all, the cinema, as the children like to say. will definitely be taking place. The video package should be fun. Just overall looking forward to this match. Not even looking forward to the match, just looking forward to the outcome, to the fallout of the actual match. I think that has been the funnest and most interesting part of watching the Bloodline is like, yes, they put on solid matches. They don't put on fucking, 5-star bangers. Roman could do that though, as we've seen with Roman and Cody, WrestleMania 40, 39. He has these phenomenal matches, but you're always wondering what's next after this. What is next? We've been trained to think in terms of what is next with the Bloodline story. So that's what I'm most excited to see is the fallout. Who's gonna return? We finally get Jim Uso back on TV. We finally get The Rock to return on WWE television as we head into Survivor Series, as we head into the Royal Rumble, as we head into the end of the year. We are now in quarter 4 of 2024. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't already, make sure you like, subscribe, and you follow us on all platforms, including Apple Podcasts, including Spotify, and YouTube. On all the links down below in our link tree, we've always appreciated your support, and we look forward to reviewing Bad Blood after the show is over on Sunday. So expect that momentarily. King Jess, any last words before we head into the weekend and before we head into this highly anticipated pay-per-view? Will be taking place in Atlanta, Georgia. And for those of you who do not know, this weekend's pay-per-view will be taking place at a special start time of 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific. So make sure you set those alarm clocks, folks. Make sure you pick up that Wingstop. You get them drinks. You get yourself a bottle of Nightbloom all before 6 p.m. Eastern on Saturday. King Jess,
Yeah,
take it
no,
away.
I got my bottle of Nightbloom ready. I don't know what we're gonna do for dinner, but I'm sure we'll do something special. I'm excited for this pay per view. This is gonna be a great time. I know me and my girl are excited for the shark cage match. She's never seen one, so it'll be fun to see her reaction to that. I don't think she's ever seen a Hell in the Cell either, so that'll be a fun one as well. Um, Other than that, not really. I do want to point out, I like pointing out YouTube channels when I find them. I recently figured out that the El Rey network, where Lucha Underground was being aired on, has a ton of Lucha Underground matches, even with like dates and number of the episodes that those matches were originally on. I would suggest going and watching some of that because there's great matches with some superstars coming into the WWE and some that are already in. So definitely go ahead and check some of those out. I think I saw last night we saw Penta versus Chelsea Green and Penta versus Io Sky. Both of those matches were phenomenal. Penta didn't hold back any punches in those. He was totally just destroying them. So I definitely recommend go checking out that channel. The Vault has been putting up great stuff on there too. I saw that they're now having wrestlers present some of their segments. The first one that I noticed it on was Dominic Mysterio presenting a hair versus mask match from back in the day. So those are always fun to watch if you haven't seen them. But other than that, everyone just enjoy the pay per view on Saturday, and we will be back on Monday with the recap. We'll film it on Sunday, we'll post it on Monday, and we will give you all our in detail review for Bad Blood. But other than that, thank you for listening, and we will catch you on Monday.